It's now been just over a month since I started working on Lost Resolve, and it's come a long way. I haven't posted a video in a little while, so I figured that it would be cool to go through every feature I've added since my last update. There's going to be a lot, so bear with me. First, there's now a barrier at each side of the graveyard area, prompting the player to collect a certain number of keys. Once the required number of keys are gathered, the barrier is removed and the player can explore further. The game now remembers whether you've completed the tutorial, and removes the tutorial prompts when subsequently loading into the main area, as well as this breakable wall and the cutscene trigger. The first two levels are now accessed from these doors, which display the name and a preview of the level when you stand in front of them. You can press the up input to enter each level. The game also remembers which level you played last, and when you re-enter the hub world, it will place you in front of the appropriate gate, or the appropriate side of the map if you visited other locations. Action stages now feature a slightly zoomed out camera, which makes it much easier to react to upcoming obstacles. There's also look ahead on the camera, which quickly ramps up when you run in a given direction. The HUD has been slightly reworked to look cleaner, and it now includes the number of keys gathered at the end of each level. Keys are now lost upon death and return to their initial locations. You can go back and recollect them, but you must reach the end of the stage without dying for the keys to be counted toward your total. The first dungeon level has been transformed into Somber Sepulchre 1, with a completely different aesthetic to match the mood of the first area. It has also received some brand new background music, which sounds much more wistful and melancholy. Have a listen. The level has also been lengthened slightly, but will end up being even longer once it's finished. The second dungeon level hasn't been reworked yet, but it will receive the same aesthetic treatment to make it Somber Sepulchre 2, as well as improvements to level design and a good deal of extra length. Numerous bug fixes were implemented. Notably, breakable walls no longer stop your momentum if you're next to them while you dash, and a glitch that caused the player's death text to not appear has been fixed. In addition to this, there have been numerous small aesthetic improvements, like the layering and the opacity of the rain, and the particle effects for the bounce and dash abilities. The fade-in for the levels was also redone so that it looks clean and doesn't cause any strange appearances when the game is teleporting the player to their correct spawn. There's probably a lot more I'm forgetting about, as sometimes developing games is simply moving from fixing one issue to the next, but I think that what I'm most excited about is having a foundational framework laid out for the majority of the game's content. Since you can now collect keys that are lost on death and linked to progression, there's already a clear sense of objective. Now I can continue building out the world using those mechanics and begin work on entirely new areas and story progression. Even though this is one of my shorter videos so far, I feel that the progress I've made in the past few days is some of the most important yet, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. As a reminder, if this game has caught your interest, you're more than welcome to wishlist it on Steam and subscribe to the channel for further updates. That'll be it for now, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll keep working hard on this project, and I hope to see you guys again very, very soon.